Before I get started, I'd like to explain my 7-card Know Thyself or Know Yourself spread that I'll be using for the readings. I gave it this moniker because it's easy to understand the meaning of the 3 top cards of the spread. The top left-hand card is What You Know. The central card is What Can Be or Is Yours. And the card on the right is Self or Self-Awareness. 3 mini Rider-Waite cards will be the clarification cards underneath the main cards. And the card on the right will be the future card. Hi there, Cancer. Let's see what's in store for you in your Ides of March tarot reading. And after that, I'll do a I Ching reading for you. The top left-hand card for What You Know is the 5 of Wands. It's the conflict card. That's what I call it anyway. But I have a feeling there's something else going on here. It's like a skirmish for you to search for the meaning of life. For conflicts in your life are hitting full force. But there's different kinds of conflict going on here. It's a conflict of the inner struggle of yourself and also the conflict of yourself with the outer world. Somehow, somewhere, something got lost in the translation between these worlds. Games are being played. And you have to learn these new rules. You're seeking some kind of inner balance of peace with yourself and your surroundings. But unfortunately, there's very little agreement between these opponents. The word Estric means the art of dispute. And at times people argue for just argument's sake, and they lose the whole premise why they're arguing. The word Estric came from Esris, the Greek goddess of chaos, strife, and disorder, who incite arguments that do not pursue the truth. You must turn these conflicts into constructive debates over heated arguments and see the truth. The clarification card is the world. I was just blown away when I pulled 2 of the worlds. I don't remember the last time I've done that, and the world is very rarely shows up. And for them to come out in the same reading for only 7 cards, it's just astounding. Here the world is a completion of a journey and the beginning of a new cycle. Lessons have been learned from a long road that you traveled through the major arcana cards. Now seeds are planted for the new unconscious and conscious mind, body, and spirit. It's time to realize the bounty of your learning, earning, and changing as you had gone through the major arcana cards. It's really time to rest, and then you can move on to the next challenge. But never forget that you have to share what you learned. It's very important for you to do that. The presence of the world symbolizes development, fulfillment, achievement, and completion. Saturn represents this card and also represents the harvest of the completion of life. Because the word Saturn in Latin means to sow. Happiness and success has been earned with overwhelming accolades, and it's time for you to move on to a new cycle in your life. Now the clarification card under What Can Be Yours or Is Yours is the Justice card. Normally her presence indicates something's out of balance, and maybe it had been with the 5 of Wands, but now the 2 World cards just command and say, now things are going back into balance. This can also be about legal matters and details of contract agreements, and also as well it can be about accountability for your behavior, and maybe there will be some with all the people that were involved in all the conflicts and the 5 of Wands. But here it's more like justice is being served, and now you're being released and freed by the world cards. In yourself and self-awareness, you receive temperance. In this instance, it's kind of like it's a blank canvas that needs to be filled with cautious brush strokes, because with the two worlds cards, now you're into something completely new. But it's reminding you here that moderation and self-control and restraint are very important, and that you have to shed impulsive desires. And keep in mind that all kinds of relationships require temperance. It's very hard to balance things, especially in personal interactions. And sometimes things become habitual behaviors, and they're really hard to conquer. They're really hard to make an urge for reform when you've gotten into the habit. Oh, well, a friend of mine calls it habit instead of habit. Her appearance cautions you about the fusion of opposing forces while trying to avoid an explosion. This is a crossroads to the question of who you really are and how you want to handle your future path and where you want to go. William Blake said, "You never know what is enough unless you know what is more than enough." And I just love his poems and as well as his artwork. She has a flow of knowledge that connects the unconscious inner self to the conscious self, and that's what makes temperance very unique. And hopefully this will release you from your shadow self. Now the clarification card is the Page of Wands. This is the immature guy that's playing with fire. And it could also represent somebody in your life that is a Libra, Aquarian, a Gemini. So you have to be really careful when you're playing with fire, because it can renew or devour. And the Pages brings youthful adventures. But they can be of chance and good luck, or risk and danger, and there's two sides to this coin. He can fan the flames of many different types of exploits, travel, education, and creative endeavors. And he brings exciting and new prospects. I always think I love American style and the fireworks shooting off. But then again, as with all pages, they bring messages, and also in this instant, maybe an inkling idea. The kind of idea that's always been in the back of your mind, but you never acted on it. But this new idea might take you out of your comfort zone, and you're not really sure if you want to do that. And as well, maybe you don't want to do that because he is a very immature entity, and he's still making the typical mistakes from inexperience. And so maybe you don't want to listen to the Page of Wands as much as you think you do, because temperance is above the Page of Wands, saying, "Oh, whoa, wait, let's temper and moderate our ideas here." Now the future card is the Ace of Pentacles. How wonderful to have a new beginning card. It extends possible gifts of value and fates of fortune. Here he's offering one pentacle with the promise of more. And this could also indicate that struggles with finances are coming to an end, or maybe business and work matters could have some success. This card is also a talisman of health, or the return of good health. Now, Rome wasn't built in a day, and hard work is expected to reap the rewards of this card. Job offers and promotions may appear, or unexpected endowments of money. This can also be offering earthly prosperity, bringing the comforts of the spiritual world with this earthly prosperity. Kind of follows along, and once you're happy, then spiritually you can also be happy. But here it's reminding you too that you have to roll up your sleeves and get started in building your own empire. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.